Hi everyone, welcome to Ask Nehru JavaScript tutorial series. In this video, I am going to explore many things about closures and its various implementations. So, I am going to explain about how closures can be executed in multiple ways so that you have a strong idea about what is closures and how many ways we can use it in real time scenario. So, I don't destroy any code. I always keep it backup in GitHub repository. You can take advantage of it. I give the link in the video descriptions. You take advantage of it. And request you to subscribe my channel if you haven't subscribed yet. And please give comment if you have any doubt. Okay. Now let's jump right into the code. So I open my VS Code. Here already the hoisting is there. Now I'm going to create one more file. JavaScript file called closures.js. And after I give this in the index.html, I'll give closures.js. Okay, I save it and then I go to closure and I hide the explorer, file explorer, and the go live, I click the go live. So this is printed. I separate it and I want to keep it side by side. So this will be left side will be the VS Code and right side will be our output. But here still I want one more thing, that is developer tool. In the console I want to print. Okay. Now let's go with simple closure example. The first example is I create a function with the function keyword and I create an outer function. Okay guys, outer function, and within the outer function I declare a variable. I create any variable guys, no problem. Okay, some text value. Okay, so I am outer function. Okay guys, the value is outer function. Okay, and I create inner function, that is actually function, inner function, and within the inner function I print the text value. Okay, then I return the inner function guys. I separated for better code readability, and then I execute the outer functions and execute the inner function. Okay, now this is not inner function, this is closure function. Okay, this is closure function. Actually this is a fundamental execution of closure function. You see guys, it is executed and says I am outer function. Although we have printed in the inner function, still it remembers the outer functions. Although it is already executed, it still remembers. That is actually closure guys. I tell you the definition of closure from our slide. Okay, so a closure is a feature where inner function has access to variables from the outer function. Okay, even after the outer function has completed execution. So see, match the same definition with the example I have given. Okay, so we have the inner function. It has access to the variable of the outer function even after the outer function finished its executions. The line number 11, it's finished its executions. Line number 5, it remembers the variable which is declared in line number 2. Okay, may be confusing to you, but don't worry. In the further implementations, you will understand it better. For now, I comment it. Okay, later on you can take advantage of it. Now what I'm going to do, I go to the next example. What is our next example? Using closures for data privacy. Okay, I create a function again and let it be some function like counter. Okay, counter, and let count is 0. This is actually parent function, and within that I create a return and also anonymous function I create. Okay, because I'm not giving any value. Here I have given a value, but here I'm not given a value. I'm directly returning the function. This is called anonymous function. Okay, because name is not there, therefore anonymous functions. Here I increase the count. Okay, increase the count saying plus plus. Okay guys, and I print the value here itself. Okay, so when I invoke this inner function, so it will be printed here. Okay, so better I increase the size. Okay, nice. Now guys, what will happen here? I create const increment, it's a variable, and I call this function. Okay, what is counter function? This is the counter function, is the outer functions we call it. Okay, then where is the output? This is the output guys. So when I called it, so outer function is already finished its execution. Okay, now let count is there, still the inner function remembers it. So this is the representation of the inner functions. Now we call the increment one time. Okay, increment one time. So what happens when I call it one times? 1 is printed. Okay, you see guys, so 1 is printed. Okay, now when I call it 2 times or 3 times, you see guys, every time it increments and give the result 2 and 3. See guys, although the outer function finished its execution, still this inner function could remember the value of the outer functions. Therefore, every time it increments, and when we print it, the printed value, the updated value or the incremented value is printed here. Okay, so I hope that you understand more better than the previous example. Okay, now let's do the same with the next example. Okay, I comment it. Okay, and saved it. I go here and click this one. Closes in loops. How the closes is going to work in the loop. For that, I tell you one problem scenario and then we will go to the solution. Okay, for that I create a for loop, and for loop goes up to 10. See guys, what happens here? Where is the output? Output is there here. Okay, see, we have kept a set timeout. Here instead of let, I create a var keyword. Okay, so what happens here? I saved it. You see the result, 10 is printed 10 times. Okay, this is not the expected result guys. I want 0, 1, 2 because it is incrementing from 0. So it has to print 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So up to 9 it has to be printed because I is less than 9, less than 10. It has to print up to 9. But it is unexpected result is coming. 10 is printed 10 times. So this is not the expected result guys. So here closes comes to save the scenario. I mean the expected value. Okay, I create a function. This is actually immediately invoking function expression guys. I will explain this later, but now you understand that immediately invoking function means it doesn't need to be invoked externally or outside of it. It will automatically invoked or called. Okay, and I give j as a parameter, and I create a function scope. Within the function scope, I cut it and paste the set timeout. Okay, and I pass the I value as the parameter. Okay, so what happens here? When I paste it, you see the result guys. Okay, we have to print it j here. Okay, because ultimately j is the parameter. Okay, now you see the result guys. Yes, this is the result. 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 9 we are printing successfully. So what is happening here? Closure, because of the closure, guys. So for each loop, this is invoked. Okay, the parent function is invoked and it passes its value to the child function. Previously what happens, since we are using the var keyword, okay, var is ultimately a function scoped, therefore before execution of set timeout it incremented already, and once the set timeout is done, completed its execution, the 10 is printed 10 times. But now we can arrest this scenario with the closure. Okay, this is very important, guys. And for your knowledge, I also want to take a copy of it. If you don't use var, okay, we are not using var, I use let keyword, then closure is not needed. Okay, closure is not needed. I comment it so that the value won't be messed up. Okay guys, the same scenario, but we use, instead of var, we use let. See guys, the expected value should be okay. We should print I here. Yes, the expected value is 0 to 9. This is for your knowledge, guys. Okay, here we don't implement any closure, but let keyword, because it's a block scoped, it automatically increments the value, and each time it loops, it printed. That's all. Okay, because this scope is bound with this scope. Okay, thank you guys. Now I comment this also for your reference, and later on you can download it from my GitHub page. I give you the link in the description. I make a space. Okay, so next guys, what's the next example? Closures in higher order functions. What is higher order function? A function returns another function and it accepts variables as well. Okay, guys, now I'm going to explain with higher order function. I create a function and the name of the function is multiplier, and this multiplier will have some variable called x. Okay, and I create another inner function and returning the function as well, and I'm returning the multiplication of the value. So what will happen, once it is multiplied, it returns values to the inner functions, and the result will be returned. This function expressions itself will be returned to the outer function. Then I come here and create const double. See guys, the code is automatically generated. It's an AI tool which I use it. Okay, you can also use it. The name of the tool is Codium AI, so that it gives suggestion, guys. It understands our mind what we are going to achieve it, so that it gives the result. Okay, now guys, I invoke the outer function, but it won't give any result now, although I saved it already. Now I give value, I am passing a value because it is also accepting a particular parameter, therefore we give 5 here. So 2 multiplied by 5 is 10. See guys, 10 is printed successfully. This is called higher order function, guys. A function returns another function with some argument in it. Okay, this is really fantastic, guys. Closure comes into save this implementation also. Okay, the next one is the real life time scenario. So for that I create a button here. In the HTML I create a button, and this button is a clickable button. Let it be clickable button. Click me something. Okay, and here I create an ID, because with this ID we are going to create a event. Okay, I say button btn, let it be button. Okay, nice. Now I'm going to create a script. Okay, so within it I create a script, and within that I create a closure function, I mean outer function I want to create. I would say function outer function. Okay, so within the outer function what I do, document dot get element by id. Get element by id means with the id we will access the element. Okay, and we will add the add event listener, we add the click event. Okay, and the function is there here. Okay, what is happening here, it is expecting a we need to close it here. Okay, and also the outer function also we have to close. Yes, then what I'm going to do, I want to, in the outer function I create a counter. Okay, counter initial value is 0. Okay, and within that when we invoke it, what I do, I increase the counter and I try to print the counter, and at the end of the function I call the outer function. Okay, so that it will be already finished its execution, so that we will simply invoke this one. Okay, when I click the button, this inner function is called and we will get the result. Okay, I saved it, you don't see any result, no problem, but I go here, you see guys, it has to give the click me. So when I click, what happens, it has to print the value, it's not printing, there must be some issue. Let's see what's the issue, let's sort out. See guys, real life time scenario, it is increasing guys, 1 2 3 4 and 5. See, without any event list, without any on click, we are able to do it through add event listener, but that's not the focus here. Our focus is outer function is already executed, still the inner function remembers the value of the outer function, therefore we keep on when we keep on adding it, it is adding and gives the result. Okay, that's it guys in this video. I hope you remember all of them very well. Okay, if you understood it well, then please mention in the comment that you understood it well. So thank you, I meet you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.